I like the sounds of big beautiful chords, but in reality when I hear something that sounds big and beautiful, it's often only a few notes played at the same time. Sometimes less is more. Less simply sounds much bigger because we have the appropriate space to hear less in. For example, if you hear a symphony orchestra live, it is loud and powerful. But most of my friends' speakers aren't that great or big enough to actually recreate that experience. And therefore it sounds kind of small. But if we listen to Justin Bieber's Love Yourself, which is recorded very minimalistic, and at a volume that we are used to listen to music at, it sounds big and beautiful, even though it's only guitar playing 2 notes and his singing. If we only use 2 notes, then the impact of the notes will be much bigger. So there are 12 different notes in total. Let's try to use them all and figure out how they sound each individually. So I made these chords which we are gonna reharmonize. And it's very simple. And when we're reharmonizing it, we are not caring about whether it's a major or a minor, because now we're just trying something else out. And then I translated it to this, only bass. And what we're gonna do now is to add a second note. And normally what we will do is to add the third, which gives this sound that we kind of know, because this is, as well as in the Justin Bieber sound, just the most efficient note to use. But let's try to use some of the other notes. Another really safe note would be the 5th. So let's try to use that. Which also just sounds safe and good. But if we should try to experiment a bit, let's try to use the small 7th. Which just brings some kind of danger to the sound. And I think some of the notes are like fighting against me. And that's simply because it doesn't fit into the scale that we are kind of using without knowing. So I can do one of 2 things. I can either adjust the notes that I don't think fits, or I can accept that it's a bit edgy. And I really like the edgy thing, but if we should try to correct it, then we have to make the F and F sharp. Let's keep it at that F. Okay, so now we have a small 7th, flat 7th. Let's try something else. We can try the 2nd. And again, it just gives some kind of other atmosphere. Now I feel like a bit down, and it's like I have no clue about what is going on. And then when we change back to the flat 7th, let's hear. For me, the whole energy just changes. So powerful. Let's try with the 6th. So that would mean 9 half steps up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a bit more neutral. I really like it. So if it was my song, I could actually use like these 3 different intervals as 3 different parts, because it sounds so radically different. Let's try to use an ugly one. What about if you use flat 2? Again, I don't think this sounds directly wrong, because if I keep listening to it, this just sounds like danger. Funny enough, the flat second is the same interval that we used to play when there's a shark coming close to us. But this just adds a layer of emotion to your bass note. We are only using 2 different notes at the time. And that just makes it so that this note is so powerful. So this was the flat B2 6. So let's try the major 7. Now I get the mood of like being like feeling too much at the same time, so I really don't think about what is going on around me. I get like this feeling of only being in my own head. Let's take a last one and then see what happens. What should that be? We can try the flat 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This could be like the part where the singer is singing about missing his previous life with his wife or whatever. This has for me this feeling of remembering the past and really not liking the present. And for me it's not as dangerous as the flat second, but it definitely has some uncomfortable feeling, emotions about it. Yeah. I hope this really inspired you to be less is more and figure out that each note really can have like this big impact on your music, and you don't need to have 4 or 8 notes to make something that's powerful. But actually, when you only use a few notes, it's easier for you because there is less for you to understand. And when you understand what you're doing, it's also easier to actually give the listener exactly what it is you want to give. So try to do less and really do it as you want it to be. I hope to have inspired you to think out of the box. Try something that you don't usually do. And if you like this video, then please hit the thumbs up button and consider to subscribe to my channel. It would truly make me happy. Enjoy.